Is high intelligence a curse? Well, it seems so. Experts have observed that highly intelligent people are more likely to be depressed and live a miserable life. Although they may have a successful career and a loving family, it has been observed that smart people are usually more stressed and worried and less happy than the average person. It has been common knowledge for a long time that deep thinkers tend to look for happiness the hardest without any success. A high level of intelligence can be rather crippling for most people on an emotional level, as they are the ones who are the most lonely and less satisfied. Are highly intelligent people unhappy? Knowledge has its own pros and cons. Intelligence can certainly bring you a lot of success, reputation, recognition, and social admiration. However, it takes more than that to be happy in life. Happiness refers to a wide array of positive emotions characterized by contentment, joy, gratitude, and general well-being and purposeful life. However, deep thinkers and highly intelligent people have a unique understanding which handicaps them as they overanalyze every situation in life. As they look at life differently, they often realize there is more to life than mere success, recognition, and having a loving family. And this is what leaves them feeling unsatisfied and unhappy. Raj Raghunathan, professor of marketing at the University of Texas at Austin's McCombs School of Business and author of "If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Happy?" explains that a habit of overthinking is commonly observed in smart and successful people. As they are overthinkers, highly driven, and expect the best from every situation, they subconsciously prevent themselves from being happy. Moreover, they also commit certain happiness sins, such as not making happiness a top priority, which leaves them feeling unhappy. But are they truly committing happiness sins? Or have the highly intelligent realized that life is meaningless and depressing? Raghunathan thinks there might be some truth to that. He says, when something good happens to us, we may experience momentary happiness. For instance, when we get a raise at work, we will become happy for a certain period. But eventually, we will get used to our increased salary and require further hikes at regular intervals to experience the same levels of happiness in the long run. He explains this is not necessarily a practical and sustainable source of happiness for most of us. This is where the first noble truth in Buddhism comes in, which explains that suffering is an inherent part of life and existence. Research indicates that people with higher IQs are more prone to mental illnesses, like bipolar disorder. Studies reveal that highly intelligent people are more likely to suffer from mood disorders, like depression and anxiety disorders. In fact, it has been also observed that highly intelligent children are prone to experiencing childhood depression. According to one study by researcher Ruth Karpinski from Pitzer College, which surveyed over 3,700 members from Mensa, a high IQ society, highly intelligent people are at high risk of psychological vulnerability. The survey, which covered various aspects including mental health, revealed that the highly intelligent members of the society were at higher risk of suffering from various psychological and physiological disorders. The survey found that mood disorders and anxiety disorders were very common among the members of Mensa, who have an IQ in the top 2%. The findings revealed that around 10% of people with average intelligence have some mood disorders and anxiety disorders. On the contrary, about 27% of Mensa members suffered from a mood disorder like bipolar disorder or severe depression, and approximately 20% of the members had an anxiety disorder. Another 2012 study discovered that children, 6 to 12 years of age, with high intellectual potential were also more likely to develop depression in childhood and adulthood as well. Now that we know that smart people tend to be deep thinkers and are more likely to suffer from various mental health issues, let's explore some of the most prominent reasons why the highly intelligent seem to be generally unhappy and unsatisfied in life. 1. The Dunning-Kruger effect. According to psychology, the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias that makes intelligent people smart enough to realize how little they know about everything. It's a psychological trick where the more knowledge we have about something, the less confident we feel about our mastery over that topic. Conversely, individuals who don't possess little knowledge about something usually feel overconfident about their abilities and competence. In simpler words, dumb people don't realize that they are dumb, and smart people doubt how much they know. Hence, intelligent people are unable to appreciate themselves and feel generally unsatisfied with their accomplishments. According to a 2008 study, highly intelligent people may have negative beliefs about their competence, while poor performers show little insight into the depth of their deficiencies relative to their peers. 2. Mental health issues. Highly intelligent people are usually more depressed and feel lonelier than people with average intelligence. As we have seen from the studies mentioned above, individuals with higher intellect are more likely to have various mental disorders and hence feel more unhappy with their lives. Moreover, they also tend to be lonelier than most other people. Those with more intelligence and the capacity to use it are less likely to spend so much time socializing because they are focused on some other longer-term objective. Hence, smarter people often tend to isolate themselves from others as they don't prefer wasting their time or energy on socializing, which leads to further depression. In fact, they might even feel happier being alone than socializing. 3. Inability to express emotions. Conveying our feelings and expressing our emotions is crucial for our mental and emotional health. Unfortunately, being highly intelligent doesn't necessarily mean having higher levels of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and regulate our emotions and realizing how they might affect others. However, it has been observed that highly intelligent people often lack the ability to express their feelings, emotions, needs, and desires. Moreover, according to research, smart people have a hard time developing close relationships and are hence unable to enjoy meaningful relationships. In fact, socialization can be a bigger challenge for them than loneliness. As they believe the world will be unable to understand their profound thoughts and emotions, they tend to keep everything to themselves. 4. Boredom. Boredom could very well be another reason why highly intelligent people feel unhappy in their lives. As their minds tend to be highly active, it becomes challenging for them to keep their interest in a particular topic sustained for a long time. Hence, they tend to get bored easily. As they are constantly driven by newer and greater ideas, they keep moving from one project to another without completing the previous ones most of the time. This often leads to a lot of dissatisfaction. 5. Overthinking and overanalyzing. From anxiety disorder to depression, highly intelligent people often suffer from a number of psychological problems due to their tendency to ruminate and think too much. One study has found that higher verbal intelligence was a unique positive predictor of worry and rumination. As smart people are usually perfectionists, they overanalyze and overthink every aspect of their work and life, which can often adversely affect their productivity, decision-making abilities, and mental peace. 6. Excessive stress. According to Canadian scientists, individuals with higher intelligence often experience more stress than average people as they look at even the most mundane tasks differently. Due to their tendency to overthink, they often look at the negative aspects of simple daily activities and experience chronic stress, even when they don't have to. Although most highly intelligent people tend to be unhappy and unsatisfied with their lives, there are some smart individuals who are able to live fulfilling and purposeful lives. So if you can relate to most of the reasons mentioned above and believe that you are smarter than the average Joe, then there's still a chance that you can turn your life around and experience joy, positivity, and happiness. Professor Raj Raghunathan believes the key is in identifying what these happier segments of intelligent people are doing differently. He says, once you start a serious inquiry into that question, I think you'll discover that they do two things that are different. First, they seem to pursue a different set of goals. Goals that are more conducive to enhancing happiness, like prioritizing relationships over status or experiences over material possessions. But that's not all. Raghunathan adds, second, you discover that their attitude to life is different. They are somehow better able to roll with the punches. This attitude is rooted, in my view, in an implicit belief that life is good and that good things are going to happen to you, what I call an abundance mindset. The good news is that both of these things can be learned. And the better news is that adopting these things will actually not just make you happier, it will also make you a better human being. Feeling unhappy with life is normal as you go through the ups and downs of life, whether you are highly intelligent or just about average. What is important is that we change our perspective and attitude about life and start seeing things differently. Developing a positive and abundant mindset can help us not only succeed in our work, but also build more meaningful relationships.